Welcome to Wise-ish, your daily power boost, your vaccine, your cure for the soul to keep you going. I'm Sister Jenna. Today I wanted to talk to you about being kind and being sweet, virtue and qualities that are needed in this particular age. When was the last time you met a really, really kind and sweet person? Hands up. Long time? When was the last time you saw on camera or on your social media feed someone really kind and very sweet? And when I speak about sweetness, I'm not talking about somebody who is like this with you, like they just want to be like, hi, how are you? Good morning. Not that kind of a sweetness. I'm talking about the sweetness that comes from the deep, deep core of your nature. I've sat on many occasions and thought about that quality. And I'm reminded of my spiritual mentor, Dadi Prakashmani. Actually, we're celebrating her 13th year of ascension. And what I was realizing is how she was just naturally sweet. But she became naturally sweet because of her connection to Source, her connection to the divine, her connection to God. And I wondered to what extent you and I continue to deepen this relationship to Source. Do you understand the power behind sweetness? How many of you have looked at a brand new baby and thought about how sweet and beautiful the fragrance and the energy of that baby emanates? Doesn't it remind you too of your days of when you were innocent and sweet and kind? Don't you remember those time periods? I do. It was with that sweetness, I was safe. With that sweetness, I was protected. I was taken care of. With the sweetness, it brought joy into people's lives. Now you have and you hear too about being kind, or what was this thing that they do? Acts of kindness, to do an act of kindness. And many a times when we used to be mostly on the road, when you would go through a toll booth, and you'd pay the toll for the car behind you. Remember how much joy that used to give you? Remember when you'd be maybe walking downtown and you would see the meter in someone's car had expired and you knew they could get a ticket if the parking police came by? Then you would find a quarter or two or put it in the meter just to protect that person from getting a ticket? Remember how it made you feel to perform pure charity, a charity that you didn't necessarily get praise or credit from anyone outside of you, but your feelings, your thoughts, the vibration that you emanated that act of kindness with actually brought back the feeling. It gave you the inheritance, it gave you the power of that energy. So how do we practice to be kind? Firstly, take care of yourself. Eat well, sleep well, speak well, choose people in your life wisely, choose your time wisely, use it in a worthwhile way. Don't waste your minutes, don't waste your hours, don't waste your days. The more you can use those particular periods in your life in a way that you're taking care of you, being kind to yourself means I care. Being kind to yourself means I care. And when you start to take care of yourself in ways that are really important, they seem very small. To sleep properly seems like a small thing to do. To eat well, it seems like a small thing to do. To speak well seems like a small thing to do. But it's your kindness on yourself. I got a beautiful gift from Dr. Ivy Hilton and Salim Hilton. And it's a saying from Dr. Salim. He's like, be kind. Just be kind to people. What the world needs now is kind people. So he had this face mask. I wish I had brought it down. And on the face mask it says, be kind to someone. So when I wear it, I just love it because it's sending such a strong message to remind us that we're really here to be kind. Now, let's look at sweetness. I'm not talking about the sweetness that is manipulated through words. Let's look at sweetness from the level of the soul, the core of the soul, the potential, the original value, the original worth of the soul. When you wish to practice sweetness, go inside, focus your attention behind your eyes. First place. Then, raise your vibrations to have a connection to Source, to the Divine. And when you raise your vibrations to have a source and a connection to the Divine, and then when you speak, it starts to come out with more kindness and sweetness. Because the energy of God's love has so much power in it to soften your harsh corners, those rough parts about your personality that got into you because of trauma, because of loss, because of disappointment, because of fear, because of all those negative emotions that we go through, has made us into very hard people. But at the core of the soul is actually a sweet individual, a person who has the capacity to walk on the planet and almost be like an angel, to actually be like an angel that distributes pure vibrations, good feelings, intensely beautiful energies. So I want to read you something that I came across in Daddy's book, Feeling Great No Matter What. And I thought it was appropriate because I've often thought that angels are very sweet. So the whole notion of this reading is that it's a time for angels. Silence, knowledge, and love are cocooning souls. In that silent depth, a metamorphosis is taking place. Angels are being created on this earth. Human beings can and do become angels when they have a deep commitment to change and to serve. These angels are not distracted by the scenes of violence or by mastering and conquering their own selfish desires. They turn into light and become universal lighthouses, guiding all to the eternal home of light. To the Father and Friend, and the reality of the golden culture that is being created now. They feel great. In fact, anyone who feels this has discovered not only their own destiny, but also the great destiny of our collective humanity. So what do we need in the world today? Kindness. Wouldn't you say? We need kindness, Durga? We need kindness and sweetness. Yes. We need to be a lot more kind with ourselves, then we can be kind with others. We need to be sweet with ourselves, and then we can be kind to others. And how do we develop those two qualities? Definitely by having a connection to Source and deepening this link to the Divine. Thank you so much for joining us on Wise-ish. We should become more kind, more sweet, more caring. Take care.